Hey folks, I'm attorney Roger P. Foley, and today, as I drive into work, I'm going to talk to you about the recipe of criminal defense. You know, what spurred this vlog was I just listened to a preacher as I was driving in the car, and he was talking about life experiences, and the recipe. He said God was the master chef, and that God gave us a little bit of different things. And he talked about a stick of butter. If anyone had ever bitten into a stick of butter, how it didn't taste very good. Had anyone ever, just eaten some raw flour? And if they did, it really didn't taste too well. And he mentioned another ingredient. And he said all of these things individually were horrible. But had you ever had a slice of cake? He said when these ingredients were put together, they worked. Now, in my mind, that automatically set off a trigger for me, because I think of every criminal case as a recipe. Every single case I do the same way. I file in, I request discovery, I review discovery, I take depositions, I order 911 tapes, I order CAD reports, I go through every single portion of the case. I meet with the client, I review their facts, I compare their facts to what the police officer's documents say. It's a process, it's a recipe, and each one of those things by itself are not enough. But when I combine all of those elements, when I follow the ingredients, right, of my criminal defense recipe, it tastes great, folks. Got lots of victories to show that it tastes great. Now, if I skip one aspect of that recipe and I speed the case up, something tastes different, right? If I take out one ingredient when I'm making a cake, if I take out the butter, it's different. There's something about it different. It just doesn't work. So when you wonder what takes so long on a criminal defense case, it's the recipe. It's the recipe that my firm adheres to. It's a high standard recipe. There's quality ingredients, and when you put quality ingredients into your work, you get a better result. Of course, I can't tell you that it's going to be perfect every time, but I work on having a certain level, a certain standard within myself of how much review I need on each aspect, and even case law. Like when I look at case law, I may look at it, I'll find it, I'll read it, then I got to come back to it because it needs a second set of eyes. Sometimes it needs a third set of eyes, and I have an associate or another attorney look at it. I do this because I want the recipe, I want your case to come out as tasty, as good for you as possible, folks. I don't want to be so cheesy. I know it almost verges on cheesy, but criminal defense is a recipe, and there's a recipe for success in it. Yes, you're as good as your facts. Yes, you can't read the future. Yes, God doesn't whisper in your ear. But God does whisper in my ear, and what he whispers is, prepare. Prepare yourself for war. Prepare yourself to do everything for your client that you would do for yourself, that you would do for your family. And if you do these things, you have my blessing. That's what I hear. I'm attorney Roger P. Foley. The recipe of criminal defense, a success story.